Hey, it's Dan. Welcome back. You're watching iAllegedly, and got a good one for you today. I'm in Newport today. Just a beautiful, beautiful, perfect spot. The sun is out. Everybody's enjoying themselves. Lots of people walking around. But I want to ask a question, and that is, has anything they've told us about the economy come true? Anything? Anything, anything, anything? Okay. Please take a second. Please hit the like button. Please subscribe to the channel. And today we have a sponsor, Belly Trim XP, which I will talk about a little later. But let's face it, guys. You know, not really a lot of big announcements this week as far as the economy, but we're going to get the CPI numbers at the end of the week. And again, it's going to be above 2%. Their magic fantasy land number that they keep telling us that they need to get to. But what else, guys? What else have they told us that has been remotely accurate? Seriously. Seriously. Nothing. Not one thing. Not one thing. You have massive layoffs. You've got major cracks in the building industry, major cracks in housing, major cracks in real estate. You have more real estate agents than ever quitting because they cannot feed themselves or their families, and they're going to become Uber drivers, security guards, and things like that. You're going to see that galore right now. Two things. Denise, first of all, gets the gold medal for being on fire this week when it came to banking stuff that she sent me with a flurry of banking news. But what we talked about 2 weeks ago is happening now. Australian banks are limiting the amount of cash that you can take out of the bank to $667. Huh? $667. They're also limiting the amount of transactions that you can do with purchases. How is that possible? There are people, as I walk on this island, you've got people with various financial resources. You have some incredibly rich people here that could go buy whatever they wanted to. You mean to tell me that if they want to go buy, put $70,000 in a car or buy it in their credit card, that they're not allowed to do that anymore? Okay. Okay. So banks limiting the money, that's going to come here, which came to another story. And again, guys, take a look at the stories below on this. Now, I've talked about this. I have a son who's college age and lives the life. And what I mean by that is, he called me this morning. I want to get a second job. The restaurant I work at is high end at night, but I think I can handle it during the day. And I've got about 6 weeks until classes start again after this week. Okay, do what you want to do, just doesn't want to sit around. So, how would you handle it? How would you tell the other job? We talked about all that stuff, which brought up a story from Ken and Kathy. Ken and Kathy sent me the story about how their son lives in England, and he sounds like he's about the same age. And guess what? He needs to eat and needs money every now and then. So they go to Walmart and use a little Western Union deal and send it to him. And basically, conversion and all that stuff. They sent $100 our money, or 100 pounds, which is $126 their money. Used to do this all the time. And because these kids, do this thing where they're irresponsible with their money and they know they can always lean on mom and dad, they always go back to that. Now, Ken and Kathy are clearly arch criminals, clearly drug runners, or clearly selling arms or something completely nefarious, because now when their son goes and checks it in England, hey, we need the long tail receipt. We need to verify that you know these people. My parents. You need to verify that I know my parents. Okay. Yeah, well, what about the bottom of the receipt? No. And Ken sends this to me and says, Dan, this has got a lot of personal information on it for me. I don't want to just give this information out. So, no, we just need to verify this. We need to know what you're doing with the money. It's 100 pounds, guys. It's $126 US. So I don't know what he's going to do with it. He's clearly going to go crazy and do something really wild with it. This is out of control. This is completely out of control. They're limiting the money. And this is just the beginning of this, guys. This is absolutely the beginning to this. But because I have college-age kids and my son's in school and they spend money like it's going out of style, that's what's happened with their son. But now they have to prove that they're who they are. How crazy is that? Let me know. Let's talk about our sponsor, Body Trim XP. You know, it's anticipated that 70% of all Americans suffer from being overweight, and a huge amount of those are considered obese. And there is something from the good people at BioTrust, who have shipped over 15 million products to people online, where they have a weight loss supplement that has no stimulants in it, and it has conjugated leonic acid that is CLA, which is one of the greatest things you can take to help speed up your metabolism and help break down belly fat. As we get older, we need every edge that you can get. Take a look at trimwithdan.com. They set up the website for us, and this is something that you can take that will help you lose weight, stubborn body fat. But here's the thing. The best thing clearly is diet and exercise, which we all can't do. But you need to take something that's going to be a competitive edge for you to lose weight. Once again, it comes from the good people at BioTrust. Try it today. Trim with Dan. Take a look at it. I started taking it, and I love all their products, and you guys should take a look at it as well. Now, the name of the bank that did that was called Westpac Bank in Australia. And here's the thing. This is how they're labeling people. Are you a high cash user? Are you a moderate cash user? Or a low cash user? Okay, well, it's kind of fascinating that they would do that. And they're saying that most people, you know, they fall in the low cash usage. Gosh, it's cash usage. Say that 3 times fast. They fall into that category. Well, the bank's saying, listen, we're going to limit you to $1,000 Australian a day, which is $667 American. And the problem with that is they're also limiting maximum purchases, regardless of if you are a high cash user, to $5,500 a day in cash. Isn't that crazy? And again, you can sit there and go, that's all anybody needs, Dan. It's not that much. No, it's nonsense. I am telling you guys, there's times and things that come up in your life that you're like, hey, let's get this now. Oh, we're not taking your check, Dan. No way. Okay, hang on. Swipe the card. Now imagine not being able to buy that, and it's just a matter of time. But the bank is also limiting the amount of cash that you bring into the bank. We need to verify what you do now. What do you mean what I do? Guys, I've been banking with you guys for 15 years. Well, no, tell us about your business, okay? And I told this story before, and I won't tell you guys again and bore you with it, but I had some imbecile at a bank once tell me he didn't like the business I was in. And why would he be my partner just because they had a credit line with me? So when I told him I was going to sue him personally, not the bank, him personally, it got resolved rather quickly. And it was nice. It was a nice resolution. And if anybody wants to email me, ask questions about that, how to deal with a bank that's horrific to you, I will be happy to expand on that. But the other thing is the Bank of England. The Bank of England late last week surprised everybody with a 0.5 point bump out of the blue. But what's not a surprise to the people in England is inflation is out of control. All I hear about is how bad things are and how they can't get jobs. They're seeing the shrinkflation that we're seeing here much worse in England. And they're seeing the fact that everything is out of control if businesses have it. And once again, guys, you know, you want people to go to hotels. You want people to travel to places like this. You want them to go and buy ice creams and go to the bikini shops and, you know, the different dress shops and the shoe store and all that stuff on the island like this, to sit there and to spur the economy. All the 25 restaurants on this island, or wherever it is, I'm exaggerating, it's probably a dozen, but you want people to go there and sit down and eat and have a drink, have a beer, listen to some music, and hang out. That's part of building an economy and building an infrastructure for a community. But in England, man, oh man, is it suffering? Is it suffering? And Bank of England knows it. And they gave away all this helicopter money. And it just destroyed everything. And right now, nothing that they're going to do, love the helicopters that just fly overhead. Nothing they're going to do right now is going to bring inflation down. Inflation is going to get worse for us around the globe everybody knows it. And the people in England, everybody writes, you're 100% right, Dan. You're 100% right. No one sits there and says, oh, it's not so bad. The problem also is food, fruits, vegetables, meat, things like that that are completely out of line right now and at all-time highs in some places like that. It's crazy. I went to a Home Depot yesterday, and my late girlfriend had raised beds that she had for flower gardens and grew crops and things like that. And I replanted a bunch of stuff, but there's a couple areas that are empty. And I thought, wouldn't that be nice to plant things in there and see, in addition to what plants they've got, but get some seeds. And looking through the store, gosh, they moved the seeds. Where are the seeds? And I found this one woman sweeping up, and she was so embarrassed when she told me this. And I was like, this has nothing to do with you. But the Home Depot store does not have seeds in Huntington Beach, California, because of the rodent problem. The rats ate the seeds and ate the majority of them, that they had to get rid of them. And I'm like, wow, I've never heard of that. And in my whole life, I've never heard of that. Yeah, it's just a problem. We leave at night and they come out and just rip through this place. Now they're going through the birdseed. So she was sweeping up birdseed. And it's like, wow, isn't that crazy, guys? So people having fun on the boat right there. This is Balboa Island. That's the peninsula. You guys have seen me walk on. That's that really high-end island that I come through the other side of. You guys have seen me walk through there. Just a beautiful morning out here. Just really nice. But again, it's summer. Summer's here. All the rental units are full. People are having a good time. But man, oh man, can you believe that with the Home Depot? I've never heard of that. But she's like, yeah, I think the other stores have it, but you're going to start to see because they got to figure out what to do with this. Well, with all the water, with all the rain that we've had this year, and it just rained recently, the rodent problem, who knew that they'd have a rodent problem like that? I've never in my life heard of such a thing. So share your thoughts on this. And I wanted to plant corn. And I said this last year about this time, and people lost their mind that it was the wrong time to plant corn. So, I have beets and radishes there too, and carrots too. But share your thoughts on this. It is crazy that we have all these issues going on all around us, and there's a lot more news to share with you. Just a beautiful day out here. Look at this house. These people building this whole massive house here. Double lot, and this is on the corner. Wow, guys, check this out. Look at that. Isn't that going to be nice? It's got the sign with all the information on it. But crazy. What would that cost? It's not super deep, but that's a multi-million-dollar house. It's right next to the Statue of Liberty too, which is awesome. So you guys were fooled. You guys thought that was on the East Coast. In New York, it's not. It's here. Now, we've heard about retail crime and all the different problems with what's happening, and it just seems like things are getting worse right now. Okay? Great story out of the Wall Street Journal where stores, restaurants, and retailers are being hit up for ransom demands and threatening people with things like bomb threats and hey, we're going to do a ransomware attack if you don't send us gift cards. Now, I think these people are stupid. I mean, if you get a gift card from Target, okay, you don't think that they have a record of that purchase? You just think that they put $500 on a card and you're going to go spend it and they're not going to know who you are? I mean, doesn't make an ounce of sense. So, you know what I mean? It's just crazy. So, the shakedown, and this is happening to stores. It's happening to retail stores. It's happening to grocery stores. Whole Foods in New Mexico got hit with this. Targets have got hit with this. This is crazy, guys. Absolutely just getting more and more, worse. This right here, that's called Collins Island. It's just a little drawbridge that separates you from Balboa Island. And the difference is is 7 million, 12 million, because you get to cross a drawbridge. Isn't that nice? So, peasants, over here on the Balboa Island. But it's funny. I mean, these houses are just insane. But again, you get me walking by. Hey, how's it going? So, needless to say, these attacks are happening more and more and more. And the ransomware attacks are getting much worse. I get a kick out of, when a store gets rushed or a gas station. We had, the crime kids that would take off and go around the different grocery stores and gas stations and just go in and steal everything. And they would steal lottery tickets. Do you not know? Do they not get it that when you have a lottery ticket, like a scratcher here in California, when you buy those are registered to that store. So, okay, it's not like someone just gave it. Hey, my mom gave this to me. Well, those are the ones that were ripped off. And why do you have this $100 winner? I mean, that's what people just don't get, So I'm on the really expensive side. The drawbridge is not up today. So, oh, it's broken. Look at this. Dun, dun, dun. So, anyways, it's kind of funny. But share your thoughts on that. And one thing that people keep sending me, and I don't know why this is a big deal, but you have a lot of parking meters down here. Like here on the island, you don't have to pay to park, but when you leave the island, you have to pay to park. And there's a plastic surgery center, which I'll end with this one. But Ippolito sent me this story out of the UK where they're getting rid of parking meters in the UK and they're having these apps. We have those here. And, you go, you sit down, hey, this entire street is patrolled by this one app and you better pay or else. And people are like, I don't see any signs. I just do it. And they just drive by and ticket people. Now, one thing that they use here to find repossessed or cars to repossess that are behind in their payments is they have these cars with cameras that scan people's license plate. How about this one? Here in Newport Beach, they have a system where if you don't pay that system, you go online, you punch in your license plate, and then you buy 2 hours. And if you're at 2 hours and 7 minutes and that car drives by and it scans your license plate, it will print out a ticket and he'll stop and he'll just throw it in your windshield. It's sick, okay? Because I've seen it to where I've gotten tickets and it's been like, hey, how's it going? We're ending our meeting. Yeah, I got to get to my meter. I'm going to be late. And sure enough, 2-3 minutes and you get the ticket sitting there when you walk out. Absolutely awful. But that's coming to the UK. It's coming to a city near you as well. So, isn't this beautiful out here, though? It's just really nice. Since the debt ceiling was agreed to, the Fed has spent $150 billion. They're starting to sell T-bills to replenish its coffers because it was diminished. But the cash flow is a real problem. And you're going to see this debt raise where you create money out of thin air, create nothing but problems. Now, it's okay, Dan. They're going to fix it. They're going to print more dollars and inflation's going to go down. It doesn't work that way, guys. Got more dollars chasing too few goods. Things are going to go up in value. One thing that I keep getting sent from different states, and it started here in California, Dave sent me this, and now Denise sent me this, and that is states that are closing bank branches, and the number of bank branches is getting to be significant. You have to look at this, and is your bank a full service bank? What does that mean? Well, we can handle transactions here. What do you mean you can handle transactions here? Well, we can print cashier's checks. We can do wire transfers. We can be your full service bank. Well, what else? What other bank is there out there? Well, there's banks that can just take deposits and you can have minimal activity and minimal withdrawals. And I was in 2 banks on Friday where I heard the exact same thing. How much money are you taking out? Oh, $800. Okay. One woman, do I have to say? Well, I'd rather talk to the teller. Well, though, if it's under $1,000, we want you to go to the ATM. I need it broken down. I don't want to go to the ATM. No, we're encouraging you to do everything for under $1,000 to the ATM. One woman, can I get that much money out of the ATM? Again, older women. both of them that wanted to deal with a teller and talk to somebody, a human being. No, that's not going to happen. So you're going to see more and more of that. Remember David's Bridal that filed for bankruptcy? Well, one thing that's happening now is they're finally starting to liquidate all those stores, and you're seeing all the wedding dresses that are being unloaded finally at a very record pace, to say the least. But South Carolina's got stores, a very large one that is being, sold off, and people are advertising this because you can save a ton of money. I'm all for a good wedding. I'm all for buying a nice suit and all that stuff. But man, oh man, has it gotten to a point that you should save money on this stuff? If you can go to one of those places and buy it, do it. Because man, it's just, it's outrageous what that stuff costs. And the largest bridal company went bankrupt. Think about that. Just another thing to add to the list of things that went out of business in the last year. Everything that you want to purchase, and again, a wedding dress, there's deals out there on wedding dresses right now. If you need things for school, if you need computers, if you need phones, if you need any type of supplies for your business, any equipment, especially heavy equipment, forklifts, things that lift things, things that cut things, things that store things, all that stuff is going to be sold at a dramatic discount over the course of the next few months. The banks right now are seeing a huge problem with foreclosures. And at the end of this month, at the end of June, the foreclosure moratorium officially ends across the country. And you're going to see more and more of this. And what's going to happen is they're going to finally have to have these people pay up, work out a deal, or lose the house. Just that simple. And it's just a matter of time until that happens. Now, you're going to sit there and say, oh, damn, it takes a year to kick people out of their house. It's going to go pretty quick. These banks right now are starting to work on the foreclosures and gearing up for them. And that brings up a good point, in that Economic Ninja, myself, and my friend Doug, who's been doing this for his entire life, created a course on how to buy a foreclosure. So take a look at the link below, Real Estate Foreclosure Pro, and a lot of people have purchased it. There's a pre-filming discount where you're going to get a price right now that you'll never see in the coming months. So take advantage of it now, because it's going to end like within the week. But the banks are going to start foreclosing on properties like this. You're going to see it happen more and more. Just a matter of time. Let's finish this video with these last few stories. Great article below about a couple that retired in their 50s. FIRE. It's live life to your fullest, this retirement where you retire early and you throw all this money together and you're supposed to live this happy life. But it's anything but happy for these people, where they live on such tight means that this woman was talking about how she went to a restaurant and a meal was $20, and she just had anxiety over the fact of how much the meal cost. And man, that's a horrific way to live. It's how you live when you're broke. And so to sit there and save $4.3 million and not enjoy your retirement is stupid. Plus, why quit working if you're too young, unless you want to see the world or do nothing? But I have a friend's wife who just recently retired, and I think it's a mistake. And she's home every day asking them what we're going to do, and doesn't like to do anything with them. So it's going to create nothing but problems. And stay tuned for that one, because there'll be more on that. FDIC, more Denise stories that I want to thank her for. When Silicon Valley Bank went down, one thing that happened recently was the FDIC released the names of all the depositors that got bailed out from Silicon Valley Bank. And the problem with it was it just wasn't the people they told us originally. It was a lot of rich, fat cats, big tech companies that had millions of dollars in a bank. Now, wait a second. Why is that? They're only supposed to be protected for 250 grand, per account, and these people got millions of dollars back. And again, it's the right people, your friends, that got protected. That's it. I mean, it's so wrong on such an epic scale that these people took care of their own deal and themselves and their friends. So I don't know why I'm shocked by that. I'm just upset by it. But what they're upset for and embarrassed now is that all this was released. And oh, yeah, well, that did happen. And yeah, those people did get bailed out. But look over here. Let's talk about something else. Okay? Final story is we've heard about quiet quitting. That's when people are miserable at their jobs. Can't stand it. They do the bare minimum just to get by and get through the day is what quiet quitting is, and they could care less. You're not getting anything else from me. Well, now there's a thing called loud quitting, and we've talked in this channel and people have shared great stories, and send more in if you've got them, of where people have quit in just crazy ways. But now loud quitting is when you do something harmful to the company on your exit. You know, maybe it's mess with their database, maybe it's do something to report them someplace. But this is horrific, guys. This is loud quitting, and you're going to see more and more people do this. And again, I'm telling you, it's what goes around comes around with people, because when you, oh, I'll report them, I'll do this, it's only going to come back to you. But what a horrific way to live. And again, having employees is such a tough thing, especially in the state I'm standing in right now. I'm telling you, you know, it is employee rights to, you know, times 50 here. They just, you know, you've got to have reasons to fire people. It's just a complete mess. So share any stories that you have about this. Please do not forget to hit the like button. Please take a look at our sponsor today, and share your thoughts, guys. Email me at hello@iAllegedly, and tell me what you want me to talk about, okay? The winners for Christmas in May are definitely coming out this week. We've been waiting for one of the giveaway prizes to be sent to us, and we're finally getting it. So that's coming out, and I didn't want to announce it without that. It's nice. Getting all ready for the 4th of July down here. Okay? Onward and upward, guys. I will see you very soon.